Well, hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm here at Hidden Falls Adventure Park. Running solo today. I feel like I haven't, even though I've taken this Jeep Rubicon 392 with the AEV lift kit out here before, done a shakedown run, been out here with several times, but I still feel like I have not fully got this thing on some little bit more difficult stuff. So today I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna hit some of the trails that I've ran in the past. I'm also gonna kind of compare how this goes over obstacles compared to my 2004 TJ Rubicon, how it did with the 4-inch zone lift kit that I had on that. Now that vehicle is a whole different animal than this. Much shorter wheelbase. It was a TJ, so the body overall is a lot smaller than even the two-door JKs and JLs. You know, it takes a lot more lift to fit bigger tires on that than it does the JL. Oops. So I'd be curious to see how this stacks up to that. That thing I felt was really off-road capable, but there are certain things that it was limited on versus like my 4-door JKU Rubicon was, my red one. That thing felt like it could go just about anywhere, and it was only on 35s and a 3-inch lift. But so I was never afraid to take that thing anywhere. I'm going to be using old footage of my 2004 TJ to compare and contrast how well it went over the same obstacles as I am currently doing with the 392. Not all of the obstacles will be exactly the same, as some of the trail conditions have changed over time from erosion and repeated use. In this segment on the North Pole Trail, I do not have any footage of my TJ, but I do not recall it being this off-camber either. Probably due to the fact that I did not have to be as picky with my line here as with the TJ due to its shorter wheelbase. It may not look like much, but this was definitely a pucker moment. Now this segment of North Pole right here is a lot harder than it looks. It's on a fairly steep incline that has you also slightly off camber. It has this tall rock ledge that the shortest part of puts you close to this tree on the left. If you don't take it just right, you could possibly go into the tree and find yourself off of the correct line. Getting up this was a little counterintuitive, as I had to turn into the low point of the obstacle in order to make it up. Now let's see how the TJ fared going up this same obstacle. You can see right off the bat that the smaller size of the TJ allowed me to hug the tree line to the left and avoid some of the larger rocks and boulders. At this point, I still wasn't happy with the line I was on. And after assessing things more, I realized my best bet was just to gun it to get up the steep ledge in order for it to not fall off the line. This was a far different strategy than what was needed to get the 392 up and over. Now on to the east end of North Pole. This obstacle right here has vastly changed in just the 4 short years since I last ran it in the TJ. My rear axle kept getting hung up on a large rock, so I decided to just take a completely different line. The TJ, on the other hand, had a much different go at this. I eventually made it up, but it did take some finessing. This is some additional older footage comparing the TJ and 392 going up what I call the climb to Wildcat Mountain on Park Road 3. This is also on Park Road 3, just north of the Wildcat Mountain overlook. After heading back from North Pole along Park Road 2, I decided to run Wet and Wild as there was an obstacle along this trail that I wasn't able to make up the last time in the 392, which at the time was still sitting on the stock Extreme Recon 35-inch tires and suspension. The now lifted 392, sitting on 37-inch BFGoodrich KM3s, made easy work of all the obstacles leading up to this large rock ledge. After the unsuccessful attempt, a couple of guys who were lined behind me decided to stack some rocks to help bump me up the ledge. Once I was up, I helped return the favor.
Build you a ramp too.
Yeah! That was kind of crazy. That was kind of crazy.
All right, let me move forward. What was your name again? Gene. Well, that was Gene and Alexis in the 4Runner and Vladimir in the JL Rubicon. It was very kind of them to stack rocks for me there. Looks like that's all I really needed was a couple. I had to take the right line versus the last time I was out here and add a little bit of step because without that, it just cannot bite over that ledge, at least not with the long wheelbase. But yeah, Joey, I expect you to have that, your 4Runner looking like that by the end of the year. No, it's crazy. Gene said that it costs him a lot, like he's running 37s on that 4Runner and probably spent upwards of 20 grand to get it to run it like that. But man, is that thing outfitted. That thing, that's one of the most capable 4Runners I think I've seen out on the trail. In terms of the TJ Rubicon versus the Rubicon 392, on one hand, the TJ has the smaller size and shorter wheelbase that make it an ideal trail vehicle. Not only is it easy to maneuver in tight areas, the excellent breakover angle means getting high-centered or hung up on the belly pan happens far less and with smaller tires than a longer wheelbase Jeep. The tried and true 4.0-liter straight-six engine, which is said to be bulletproof, provides amazing amount of torque for this little Jeep. In many instances, I think this Jeep is ideal for just about any trail or off-roading conditions. And there's just something really cool about driving one of the more original body styles of the Jeep Wrangler. But on the other hand, the Jeep Rubicon 392 with a 6.4-liter Hemi V8 also has amazing amounts of torque. I found that it actually was slower and more controlled than the wilder and more sporadic throttle of the TJ. That could be due to the fact that the TJ had a manual transmission and the 35s that were several inches taller than the standard 31s that originally came on the TJ Rubicons. And then there's the overall better drivability, utility, and comfort that comes from the slightly larger size of the Jeep JL Unlimited platform. While this hinders it somewhat off-road, it is offset by the additional lift and 37-inch tires that I have added to mine, and it still performs well enough off-road to handle pretty much any obstacle as the TJ. While even more modification could have been done on the TJ, as what I had done was relatively mild, the TJ is not as comfortable nor as practical as the Rubicon 392 as a daily driver. The ability to build the TJ into an outright rock crawler makes it the perfect vehicle to be made into a trailer queen that can handle even the most extreme of buggy trails. But my overall pick between these two has to be the Rubicon 392. It is the perfect mix of off-road capability and daily drivability. Expensive, yes. But we all know what the word Jeep stands for. Just empty every pocket. You can spend an awful lot of time and money and have yourself both a lifted Jeep and a fast car, which I did have at one point. But there is just something totally unique about having both a fast car and an off-road capable daily driver in one. Till next time, take care everyone.